Well, hello guys, legoshowtv here, and this is actually a Ninjago series update, and it is a pretty serious one. Oh man, I guess I just want to say, first off, this is a pretty important thing that I am actually going to tell you that I have had to consider it whether I like it or not, for the most part. So, I've had a Ninjago series for the longest time, and I've had it for the longest time, and I just started, organizing all of my series into playlists. I had tons of miscellaneous playlists. I've even been posting it about Twitter and Instagram. And about how many different playlists I have. And I had a lot. And I didn't have all my Ninjago series properly sorted into seasons, into the playlist. I only had an official canon playlist. And, I had some put into a playlist, but not like Season 1, this titled, Season 2, so forth. And everybody's telling me that my series is all over the place, and I agree. I was not very too good at stop motion when I started in 2013. Ninjago was just getting back, and all of us were starting to begin there, and AL123, Dan Tenaglia, all of them, all the more famous people that I know, Britmaster C, all of them, we were just starting. And of course, Britmaster C left. And Dan still does his Ninjago series. He started a little bit later than some of us. But, we tried to copy the show, and it didn't work. I was first doing everything like the show did, and it didn't work. So I deleted most of the episodes. Started over again. And that's probably where the issue comes in for the most part, and it's affected the series. I will agree to that criticism. But for the most part, I have tried to keep it as fluid as possible. I had school, and I didn't have all the time in the world to organize and think about, and I didn't know what keeping it balanced meant at the time. I didn't know what those fancy words that people use to keep balance and flowing right. I didn't know what that meant. I was starting high school. I was just doing it as after school stuff. Now it's like a whole job until I get a real one. And I've been doing this thing since 2008, just with multiple channels that never got off the ground. And legoshowtv really got it off the ground. It really made a name for me on YouTube everywhere, just about. And I just want to thank you guys. I never got to do my channel anniversary video. I just want to thank you guys for the support. I know that I've had controversy with supposedly copying people's series. It happens. Things happen when you are friends with good YouTubers and you have similar ideas. It happens. But I made amends with the you Fedis or Fedi, but I just want to say that to be quite honest. Me and John are good friends. We've had our fights. We've had our disagreements. And this is for everybody that I've come close to copying or made mad because of that. Me and him are good friends. Yes, we've had our fights over stuff, but we the Day of the Departed story arc, the supposedly that never really happened. The whole thing with him colliding the islands, I don't think that ever happened. That was just a leak. And John just made that part of his thing. And at the time I thought I was kind of thinking the same thing, I guess. And there was just I think it was a little bit of an overreaction for everybody to do that. But I'm just saying sorry for it. Right now. I mean, things happen when you're trying to make it, when you hear leaks of stuff and you get ideas for it and your friends have it at the same time. Sometimes things happen. Like I said, I organized all my things. This might not surprise you too much because of how many things I do a year. But, and if I do get a real job, that would slow down quite a bit. Yeah. So, what's going to happen? So far, I have organized from my rebooted series, to Wrath of Destiny, which is right before my complete total reboot thing of the Ninjago with the movie suits and everything. When they went for the whole time portal thing, and Sensei Yang and Derek, the custom guy that I made up for the Shadow Ninja, Klaus's son that I made up, which I wish was kind of canon now, but he's just made up, so don't worry. What was I gonna say? So Time Twins, Derek, and Yang are the most famous villains in my whole entire series. Derek's arc just finished. Sensei Yang's arc was finished a long time ago. Time Twins kind of currently died. But, yeah. And then you got the Sons of Garmadon and now Ninjago Hunted. Ninjago, the Sons of Garmadon series, the first one the first season I made based on Sons of Garmadon, Deception, was actually kind of reversed. Think about it as like the Skybound of my series, because I just thought that keeping Kai evil was not too good and people didn't like it too much. Then I made the famous movie Shattered Realm to reverse it, and it took 50 years into the future, and it had time travel and stuff, so they went back to the past to stop Kai from being evil, and that's where we are now. We are basically at Hunted, which is the Reign of the Dragons era of Ninjago. And people are complaining that I should reboot it. And looking at how many episodes I do have, I was worried that it would confuse most people. It would confuse most people that he's rebooted it again. just like the TV show kind of has done itself as a reboot with the movie. It's like confused people now, and I just don't want to get too more confusing. And you're probably wondering, is the pilot episodes canon to the series? Yes. I have never been able to show that, because that part I didn't really want to be with the show. I didn't want to. The whole thing was about not the whole custom idea series thing. I think is not doing the show, doing your own spin on the seasons, and that's what I think if you make a custom season, that's what it should be about. Or that's what you should do, is make your own seasons based around the villains that you have, that they have in the show. And or you can invent your own, like side characters, like I did. I've invented multiple side characters, but I've also contradicted a lot of side characters. Because I thought they were pretty useless after I did them. Or they were characters to cover up, like Klaus and Chen and Nauticon and even the Sons of Garmadon. They were all mystery characters, some of them, to, like, they were all in black suits to cover up the main villain for the series. And I put them with code names, and they basically mean nothing. So, yeah. That can be said with one of the characters I made up called Darthon. He was like Klaus or something, I think. And, yeah. So, what I want to do, I'm proposing this, once I finish because we don't know what's going to happen in season 10 or whatever this whole San Diego Comic-Con thing was, that where Jay and Nia are supposedly getting married. We don't know what that is yet. And I think I am going to wrap up from Rebooted to Reign of Dragons. Reign of Dragons will actually go into Shattered Realm 50 years into the future. So we can take a vote here. We can take a vote. Do I expand upon the future once I finish Reign of the Dragons? Once I finish Reign of the Dragons, I can expand them to the future, or I can go back and, yes, for the sake of consistency, I am going to officially say that if I start the series completely over, new type of canon and everything, then the Ninjago movie suits, the actual movie suits, the actual faces and everything will be used for that. It'll be the same villains and everything. I don't know if I'll do the Overlord. I might like mention him or something, like, but I can't show everything. I'm not going to start over from the pilot episodes. But I might figure out something to do to like please you guys as a reboot. Something. I'll figure it out once Reign of Dragons is done. That will be about 15 story arcs. So 15 seasons worth of story arcs for you guys. Or I can do based purely in the past. I can do something purely based around Garmadon or something. If you want movies, to talk about the pilot episodes, then I can do that. For this series, I can do it for the first series. This is what I'm going to be called the first series. I don't know how much longer I can totally do YouTube without getting a job. You know, I have to have a job at some point. I am out of school and everything. But, you know, that happens when I'm ready. When I think I am ready to start one. Not that it will be my personal choice or decision, but it just you gotta do that first. So you gotta do whatever happens. But I will be on YouTube until otherwise, until I can decide that something. So what I'm saying here is you got two options. Go into the past and develop the past, where I'm going to delete probably all of the crazy, like, Age of the Masters series is off of my channel. Like, you can see some of the things from the past that I've tried to develop. Those are officially going to be wiped from my channel, and the canon Chronicles of Ronin, or Fire, the series where I accidentally made Kai Ronin's kid, will be officially wiped from the canon. And yeah, anything to do like crazy things. That was Chronicles of Fire was before I knew, or before Rey was even named Rey. But yeah, so that's what we are here to talking about. So yep, that's about it. Like I said, we can do a complete story arc in the past for this series, and leading up, which would be the pilots. And I would try to cover the Serpentine War in the Time Twins era. It would be the Time Twins from when they were first banished. And yeah. Or I can totally reboot the franchise. And yeah. You pick. Give me some suggestions. And I will think about it. So yeah, that's about it. If you want to watch all of the playlists, you'll be able to do so within the next few hours. I will be putting together Deception playlist, including then Shattered Realm, and then Oni Raids, and then when Reign of the Dragons is done, it will be that playlist. But you can see a whole canon playlist from start to finish, all of the episodes combined in one thing, and through Oni Raids, I believe, you can see that. The 6 individual movies, like the rebooted movie, the Ghost movie, the Tournament of Elements movie, those are all just summaries of the seasons. So they're not really anything. They're like their own thing, their own story arc, their own things. Standalone movies that have to kind of do with the series in some way, kind of. I mean, I think Wrath of Destiny and some of those have movies, but those are continuations into the episodes. So, yeah. That's about it. Thank you guys for making my series one of the most successful things for Ninjago's custom things. One of the most successful, popular ones, I guess. But, yeah, just thank you for all of that and all the support for the Ninjago series that I've made. And